Hey, welcome to this week's edition of 5 Minutes of Management. I'm Frank Kalman here with Rick Bell. Rick, the Workforce Live video library should be up. So if you didn't have the chance to catch any of our events in Boston, New York, or Washington, D.C. this spring, all the talks are now available at live.workforce.com for you to view. So pretty cool.
Oh, man, I'm all over it. That's what I'm going to do this weekend.
So, Rick, big news this week on the overtime front. The Obama administration put in place new rules that will raise the threshold of salaried workers who can receive overtime to, I think, $47,500, which is a pretty big deal because I think it was at something like $23,000 before.
They raised it, yeah.
What's your take on this?
Well, Frank, it could have been a lot worse. A lot of the pundits are saying that essentially what rulings came out were somewhat beneficial to employers. Yeah, granted, you got to decide whether your people if you're going to move your people to non-exempt or just give them a bump in salary. But that sets up some potential issues. A manager all of a sudden has the assistant manager making the same amount as them. So there are a lot of decisions. The good thing is that employers have until December 1st to make these decisions. So they got a 6-week or 6-month ramp to make a call on what they want to do.
Yeah, and of course, business groups are not happy. Many of them are coming out saying that they're going to have to cut workers' hours or they're going to have to eliminate some positions altogether. We're just going to have to wait and see. Like the ACA, we kind of heard the same thing.
We've heard it before.
And the after effects didn't really seem to match sort of the fear that was going on beforehand. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Hysteria on the part of business owners.
So what else we got?
Oh, so Frank, if you received a bonus of $1.6 million, how would you feel?
I think I'd feel okay. It'd be a good day.
And then you find out that your colleague who has the same title and does the same job got a bonus of $5.5 million. How would you feel?
Still pretty happy. $1.6 million, these days, I think I'd be okay. But yeah.
Well, so this comes down to a gender equity thing. Women not receiving the same amount of salary or bonus in this situation. And Megan Messina of Bank of America is suing for gender discrimination. A male colleague with the same job title and similar responsibilities received a $5.5 million bonus when she got $1.6 million. So she describes it as a bros club at one of the country's largest banks, and that's penalizing her for being a woman. A woman in her position, the lawsuit claims she's being treated as a second-class citizen. So here we go again. We come across this issue all the time. It was just recently the U.S. women's soccer team that we talked about.
That's right. Well, were any of those employees millennials?
I don't know. If she was 42, I think she's a little beyond millennial age.
Okay, because if they were millennials, this would have just totally became a huge issue, and it's an issue that a lot of companies are really struggling with, how to manage millennials. Well, frankly, it's come at a huge cost. The Wall Street Journal this week wrote a story profiling the fact that a lot of businesses are so flummoxed by millennials that they're willing to pay as much as $20,000 an hour in some cases to so-called self-anointed millennial experts or consultants to come in and give them the magic potion that will help them manage millennials. According to the Journal article, Source Global Research, which tracks the consulting market, estimates that U.S. organizations spent between $60 and $70 million on generational consulting last year.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Whoa. I mean, Rick, I'm a millennial. Am I all that difficult to manage?
Oh, you're a pain in the ass.
Oh, what else is new? But seriously, though, $20,000 an hour to what? What is the secret formula that we're missing here?
Frank, I have 4 kids, all of whom are millennials, and they have no different desires or aspirations than I did when I was their age. And granted, basically, you do the same with you. You want to be treated fairly, you want to be recognized, and there are other opportunities that you're going to go explore as you climb the corporate ladder. That's just what people do. in the workplace.
And there's so many things about this story that just make me laugh.
So was there were there any examples in there?
There were examples. But first, before I
get
get there, let me point out that majority of the millennial experts interviewed for this article were not millennials themselves. So actually, there was one couple quoted in here who, let's see, here we go. Morley Winograd and Mike Hyas, ages 73 and 72 respectively, are the principals of Mike and Morley LLC and have written 3 books about managing young workers. So, if you're in your
Finger
70s,
on the pulse.
yeah, they've got their finger on the pulse. But the best one, the best example we have here is from a millennial expert who's actually spoken at Workforce Focus, I believe, Dan Schwabel.
Yes, Schwabel.
He advised Red Robin, the burger chain, to make its executives more visible. Mr. Schwabel's advice was to have Chief Executive Stephen Carley bring donuts to the office or bagels in at least once a quarter and personally hand them out.
Now, would they use tongs to hand out the bagels?
You know what?
Donuts?
For another $10,000, I'll tell you. But seriously, this is, we're reaching kind of a silly saturation point here with millennials. There isn't anything magical to crack with how you manage them. It's really just treating them like you would treat anyone else. And, you can save yourself 20 grand an hour by just picking up some management books and reading the internet, or maybe just talk to your employees.
Or call Frank.
Or call me. So don't be surprised if my LinkedIn profile suddenly says millennial
expert.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, all right, we need something to decompress from that story.
All right.
What do you got?
Well, actually, we have summer hours starting next week.
That's right.
Cannot wait. So it's like companies do little things for their employees, and we are eternally grateful for it. So it's just like the little things sometimes, incorporating summer hours, bringing bagels and donuts to make your millennials happy. Just keep your employees in mind this summer and let them cut loose a little early on Fridays.
What a good way to end the video.
I know.
What a good way. Well, that's all we've got for this week's edition of 5 Minutes of Management. For Rick Bell, I'm Frank Kalman. We'll see you next week.